Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and today we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Super's Chapter 86 spoilers and how the Granolah arc is probably going to end. Because if you've been following Dragon Ball Super's Granolah arc up until this point, you will notice that the story seems to be pushing us into a direction that I'm very certain is probably going to happen. So if you don't want to get spoiled, you can tune off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, so basically Gas loses, and for those of you who didn't read the whole spoiler alert from Dragon Ball Super Chronicles, he basically explained that Goku and Vegeta basically hold off Gas, while Granolah comes back and powers up a really strong attack and uses that really strong attack to defeat him, but he doesn't execute him. He actually tells him to get out of here, live to fight another day kind of thing. Seems like there's two things that are really going on here for the Granolah arc. The first thing that we need to talk about is Elec. Elec is the major villain of this arc, obviously, and there's also the existence of 7-3. Now, we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but a wish was made for Granolah and also for Gas to become the strongest characters in the universe, and I'll talk about them more specifically in a second. But if you've been following this arc, I believe that Elec will somehow find a way to either power himself up or use some other character to try and become the major villain of this arc, because the way that Chapter 86 ended, it doesn't seem like a typical Dragon Ball way to end an arc. A Dragon Ball arc always has to end in a specific way, where there's like some ultimate battle and our characters were absolutely pushed to the brink, and Granolah just coming in to help everybody in the end just doesn't feel Dragon Ball-ish. You know, it just feels like there's more to this. It feels like it can't be that Gas was the major villain. It just feels like Elec has something up his plans for a comeback, or some other way to come back and try to fight our characters. So what we can first say about how this arc is probably going to end is that Elec is going to do something to counterattack or have a plan B and be the major threat of this arc in some way or another. That's step number one. Now, step number two of how this is probably going to happen is also dealing with the whole concept and theme of the arc itself. When this Granolah arc was in its infancy stages, I was very upset with a couple of decisions that were made. And these decisions involve Gas and Granolah basically using the Dragon Balls to become the strongest characters in the universe. I thought it was extremely cheap, but as I look deeper into this, guys, I realized that the whole point of making those bad wishes is actually a good thing in terms of the story, is that it's going to push us into a direction where it will say that Gas and Granolah cheated. They didn't have the power to compete against Goku and Vegeta, who are naturally the strongest mortals, and they cheated, used an alternate method to get as strong as they could be, and they still lost. I feel like the message of this arc as a whole is that Goku, probably because Goku's the main character and he's always going to have shine over Vegeta, and that really sucks, and we can talk about that a little bit more in a second here. But, you know, this is a superiority complex, and this is also an inferiority complex, and basically, Goku's the main character, and I think at this point, nobody should be upset. I already did a whole video called Poor Vegeta where I went more into this, but I don't think people should be upset about Goku getting to shine because, I mean, it's kind of the way this is supposed to be. But I really feel in my heart of hearts that this arc is just trying to say that Goku is so awesome that you can wish to be the strongest character in the universe, but because of the Saiyan genetics that both Goku and Vegeta have, throughout a battle, they can get stronger than even you. So even if you wish to be the strongest character in the universe, the Goku and Vegeta were already so close to you, and because of their Saiyan genetics and their ability to rise throughout a fight, they can surpass you during a fight and become stronger than you, even though you wished and cheated to be it. And I actually feel like if the story goes in a direction where it will prove that cheating still doesn't help you in the end, because hard work and determination and training with the angels and all of this still, you know, comes out in the end, I actually think that's really good writing. And ultimately, I feel like the Dragon Ball community, for the most part, that was really upset about, you know, using these cheat code powers and wishes and stuff. I think when things come back full circle, in a lot of ways, this can save the Granolah arc. And honestly, guys, if I'm gonna be honest with you, the Granolah arc definitely started off slow. I felt like it had a lot of issues in the earlier part, but considering the fact that Dragon Ball Super is returning, and the last few chapters have had some really interesting fights. We've learned a lot more about Bardock, a lot of those things. I actually feel in my heart of hearts that this arc is ending a lot stronger than what it was originally supposed to be. And in many ways, I honestly feel, I mean, I don't think it could ever cap the Moro arc, because I still think to this very day that the Moro arc is the best arc in Dragon Ball Super history. You can say that with a grain of salt because, you know, I'm saying for Dragon Ball Super standards, I still think the Moro arc is the best, and I'm gonna have a whole separate video going specifically more into the Moro arc. But if this is really the end, that would be a bummer. But if Elec is gonna come back and somehow Gas will be revived, and there's gonna be like another major fight that comes out between Goku and Vegeta and everybody versus Gas again, then I think this whole wish stuff will actually come true. So the truth is, guys, in a lot of ways I hope this isn't the end, because it just doesn't feel climactic enough for an ending. You know, just kind of like Gas was just this random Kid Buu lookalike villain that got really strong. Goku and Vegeta struggled, but then Granolah came back to help them and then just wipes him out like that. It just feels like Goku and Vegeta have to find some type of internal way to channel something to defeat Gas. It just, something just feels off about this. It just feels like this can't be it. And that's why I ultimately feel like, for all of the different reasons I said in this video, that there's just gonna be something else up the sleeve. In addition, guys, we also have to talk about Frieza, because if we remember, one of Granolah's major aims was to get revenge on Frieza, who he should be strong enough to defeat at this point. And when you consider the fact that the Heater family has contact with Frieza, this really goes to show you that there's just too many loose ends that haven't been fully tied up. And then when you also factor in the existence of 7-3, guys, I just feel like there's just way too many things that need to be explained. We still need to explain Frieza and his whole connection to this. Will Frieza end up being killed? Will he go back and, you know, team up with the Heaters? We have no idea how Frieza will tie into all of this. In addition to that, we also have to tie up our loose ends with 7-3. And that whole wish thing still needs to be fulfilled. So ultimately, guys, I really feel like this arc is not over. It just doesn't feel it. And let me know what you think in the comment section below about this arc. If it's really the end, then it's the end, but there's just too many open storylines. And it just doesn't feel climactic enough that this random little brother Gas just gets defeated and that's just the end of the arc.